going to split city and the underscore. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to add a column. Now we've got a column here where we had city, and where we had underscore, it was city underscore 1. Now it's just city underscore. So what I'm going to do now is I can come back. It shows, if I look at applied steps over here, I can come over and I can delete that applied step, that last step that we did. I can delete it, and I can delete column by delimiter, and now it brings us back to the original. It brings us back to the original column. So I did a transform. If I wanted to add a column, let's see, transform. If I want to add a column, if I want to transform the column, so here, if we want to transform a column, here we have a column that's called state location, which is a city. City 1 could be any city, Pine Bluff, Little Rock, Atlanta, New Jersey. So basically here we could say we want to split this column. We will go to transform. We will come over to split the column. We're going to split it by delimiter. We can split it by delimiter, by number of characters, by position, by lowercase or uppercase. But what we're going to split it by is delimiter. And what split means is we are going to make this two different columns. We want to have the city in one column and the numbers in another column. So basically what we're going to tell it is, whenever you see this underscore, whatever comes after the underscore is going to be in one column. Whatever comes before the underscore is going to be in another column. So we're splitting and entering the delimiter. And the delimiter is our underscore. The delimiter tells us where we're going to split it from. So basically we're going to click, we're going to select transform, split column. We're going to split it by the underscore. The delimiter is going to be the underscore. Now we're going to be able to see that we have a city column and a number 1 column. We can come back and we can actually, if we didn't like that, we can come back and we can say, hey, come over to the applied steps. I didn't like that. There's no undo button. But what we can do is we can see all the steps that we made. The last step was to change the type. Just real quick, I do understand that everyone is not going to be interested in Power BI, but you're out there looking for a tech solution, a tech opportunity for you to get into the way you can make that career change, that career pivot. So for those of you guys that are out there that are into looking for that tech change, I do have a free 30-day calendar, a 30-day calendar. As you can see here, it's 30-day. Well, it's not a 30-day calendar. It's a 30-day tech transition planner. And it gives you day by day for 30 days, day 1 through day 30, to where you can use these steps in order to determine what tech venture you may want to get into. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. If you're interested in this free 30-day calendar that I have, just go to the link below in the link below in this video, and just click the link, follow the link, and we will get you over the 30-day tech transition planner. Just wanted to take a quick break to let you know that. Now let's get back over to the webinar. And we change the type, and then the step before there was to split the column by delimiter. When we split the column by delimiter and we wanted to go back to the original column, we can delete that, and now we're back to the original column. Now we are going to go back to the data view. This is called the Power Query view. This view here is called the Power Query view. So we're going to go back to where we say close and apply. We're going to close. We're going to apply our changes. And now it's going to ask us, do we want to apply the changes or discard? We said yes. Now it's going to go back and it's going to show us all the things. It had 250 rows. And as we saw at the end, it said applying 200 to 250 rows. And basically, if we look in the bottom left-hand corner, we'll be able to see the name of the file, and we'll see that it has 250 rows. Now, this view is called the report view. The way we got to the report view was we hit load. In the when we loaded the data, we hit transform, and it took us to the Power Query view. We actually can get to the Power Query view as well from right here. We can go to transform data, hit transform data, and now we're back in the Power Query view. We're back in the Power Query view. The Power Query view is where we can make transformations. We can make changes to the columns, make changes to the rows. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time in the Power Query view today, because today we're really talking about creating the visual, but I wanted to make sure that you understood the difference between the Power Query view and the data view. We hit close and apply, and now we're back in the data view. If we come over to this icon here, it's showing us that it's saying table view. I guess that's the new name. It used to be the data view, but they're calling it the table view here. So we're going to call it the table view. Now we're back into the table view. And if we go up one icon, we're back into the report view. So we have the report view, the table view, and the model view. We'll look at the model view real quick, but we don't have a whole lot in the model view right now. So we're only going to be spending our time right now in the table view. In this lesson, we are creating a table. So we've imported our data. The data set that we imported was our data over here, which is under the data tab. And these are all of our columns. If you see a sigma on the side of the data, that means that it is, if you see a sigma, that means that it is a number. That lets you know off top that you could probably use that for your facts. But if you look here, it says transaction ID. It says transaction ID. ID is not a it is a number, but it is not a describing number. It is actually the record that's being described. The transaction ID is actually the record that's being described. So you do not want to use your ID as part of your fact. It's actually going to be part of your dimension if you use it in your table. If you come over and you look under visualizations, you have several visualizations across the top. You got a stack bar chart, a stack column chart, a clustered column chart, clustered bar chart, I'm sorry, a clustered column chart, 100% stack bar chart, and a 100% stack column chart. We're going to go through, I think, all of these visuals before we get to the end of this class. So I'm not going to go through and read all of this to you, but we're talking about a table today. So we're going to click that visual, which is a table visual, and we're not really going to go too in depth as to what needs to be in the table. I just want to show you how to create the table, and the simple creation is just clicking the table. So when you create the table, I'm not going to just show it in any particular order, kind of maybe. So I'm going to bring my transaction ID down. I'm going to bring the transaction ID down. Is asking for a count of the transaction ID, and I don't want to here.